Hello everybody, welcome to Tiger Tales, a place where you'll find fan fiction written and read to you by your host, me, Tai Tiger. Now, it is fan fiction, which means it does not infringe upon the original content and it doesn't breach copyright. So let's dive into Power Rangers Future Foundation. In the last episode was a very specific character orientated with Amy. This episode we follow the same suit, being revolved around Luca, our blue Time Force Ranger. So let's dive into Power Rangers Future Foundation, Chapter 12, A Blue Ranger with Attitude. Dante caught Luca's fist, then pushed him away. Dude, easy, chill out. Come on, you're all over the place with your attacks, Dante snapped. Sorry, I'm not focused, Luca muttered. He walked over to the bench and sat down. What's with you, man? You've been off for like a couple days now, Dante asked. Nothing, just... I don't like the fact we have two teammates who don't even want to talk to us, Luca said. Yeah, well, you kind of stood on Amy's toes a bit, didn't you? And Logan doesn't want to deal with us, and we're just going to have to deal with that, Dante shrugged. She's 15, she shouldn't even be a ranger, Luca snapped. We're only 3 years older than her, Dante said. Yeah, okay, but it's not like we have to actually make an effort, Luca replied. What? Why does it always fall on me, Dante asked. You're the leader? I didn't even want to be here, Luca said. Hey, no one asked you to stick around, okay? You did that on your own, Dante snapped. Oi, the pair of you, pack it in. CJ is trying to sleep upstairs. The poor girl can't handle this pathetic behaviour, because she spends her spare time looking out for my family, looking for Adam and keeping on the future with tech she built, so shut the F up or go outside, Chloe snapped from the stairs, then she stormed back up. I'm out of here, Luca huffed, then he stormed out the dojo. What is his problem? Dante muttered to himself. Luca walked up a small set of steps and sat on a bench. One side of him was a children's playground, the other side was a pathway mostly used by dog walkers. Luca sat there for a while when suddenly Luca turned around to see a strange officer that stood behind him. You must be Luca, the officer stated. Yeah? Luca said, his heart now racing in his ears. No one knew that he was here. No one knew him at all. He was from the future, and he stayed at the dojo most of the time. I am Lieutenant Ryan. I am with the Silver Guardians, the man said. Silver Guardians? Ah, crap, Luca muttered. It's okay, you're not in trouble. You were brought here by the means of the Morphin Masters, and we know this. It would be a little bit different if you stole a time ship or something, Lieutenant Ryan said with a small smile. Oh, okay, so why are you here? Luke asked, still on edge. We wanted you to know that your father contacted us in, well, your time. He found you and saw you morph. Once he understood what was happening, he calmed down. I came to you to tell you that we have communicators to the 30th century if you wish to talk to your parent, Lieutenant Ryan told him. Oh. Yeah, thanks. I see, Luca said. Look, take this. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Then, when you want to, you can come to the headquarters and we'll let you talk to your father, okay? Lieutenant Ryan said. I'll even order someone to come get you, he told Luca, and passed Luca a business card. Thanks, Luca muttered. The Silver Guardian tipped his hat, then walked away and got into his black SUV. That was parked close by. Luca watched the vehicle drive away. Great, now what am I going to do? Luca questioned to himself. He then saw the BMW parked by the playground. It was nice, lean, and slick-looking. He looked around and only family was by the swing set. Luca knew he could easily steal the car. He took a deep breath. Yeah, why not? May as well make some money from here, Luca muttered. He then took a nice slow walk up to the BMW. He kept an eye out on the family, playing on the swings. He then pulled out a small device and placed it on the door. Within a few seconds, the little blue light turned green. He removed the small circle device and opened the door. He climbed in and placed the small device on the car wheel, and again the light turned green. The car sprung to life. Luca then sped off. You gotta love 30th century technology, Luca grinned. He pulled over the car and he got into town centre. He climbed out of the car and walked down an alleyway. There he found several sketchy dudes all talking amongst themselves. Hey, I got a car parked across the road. It's yours if you want it. I can actually get you any car you want. All you gotta do is ask, Luca announced. The guys all stood there and gasped at the sight of the luxurious BMW parked across the street. Damn, dog, how'd you get that? One thug asked. I have my ways, and they stay my ways, but I'm willing to help you with your little vehicle needs, Luca grinned. Alright, you lean trimmed freak, let's make a deal, another thug said. The guy pulled out a whole thick stack of money and passed it to Luca. There you go. That's good for a rich man's BMW, the man said. Luca took the cash and counted it. Then he placed it in his pocket. Okay, now take this. We'll text you for your next target. If you do it and bring us the car, then you're good. If you fail us, then we'll become your thing of nightmares, the thug threatened as he passed Luca an old flip phone. Luca took the phone, glanced at it for a second, and then placed it in his pocket. Luca nodded, then walked away and headed down the street. Service suddenly teleported in front of Luca in the middle of the path, and Luca stopped in his tracks. Service, Luca muttered. Time Force Blue, Service grinned. What are you doing here? Luca asked. Service held up 3 fingers. I came here 3 missions. The first one was trying to persuade you, the Time Force Blue Ranger, to come to my side. But then I realised you wouldn't work. You're a daddy's boy. And Dante's little sidekick. Then the second mission was to beat you till you were nothing but dust, but then Luciacon wouldn't be too pleased, and then he'd have my ass. Then that leads me to my third mission. Just have some fun, Service explained. Luca dropped his fighting stance. Service then jumped at Luca. He threw his fist at Luca, who managed to catch the attack, and then he kicked Service and then went to punch Service, but he caught Luca's fist. You're sloppy. You're all over the place, Service grinned. Shut up, Luca growled. Service jumped up and kneed Luca in the face, knocking him off his feet. Luca jumped back up and dropped his fighting stance. It's fine, Luca. I got a gift for you, Service grinned. What's that? Luca questioned. Service pulled out the black bone pistol and held it to his lips. Let the channel of fear form. Let the monster of my creation be born. Service whispered. He then pointed the pistol at the motorcycle and pulled the trigger. The motorcycle was black and very nice looking, but it started to mutate into a monster, which was slim and lanky. A tire took the centre of the chest. The motorcycle handles formed the side of the head. I called him Cycloid. Service grinned. He then teleported away. Luca looked at the monster. Why'd I even bother? Luca muttered. Cycloid ran at Luca. He ducked down, dodging the attack. He then threw his foot into the monster's leg, and then he rolled backwards. Leave me alone, man. Go terrorize someone else, Luca said. He stood up and tried to get away. Oi, get back here, Cycloid yelled. The monster revved the motorcycle handlebars on the side of its head, and then the monster spewed lightning from the light which was on its forehead. The lightning hit several spots in the ground, hitting cars, and Luca was thrown off his feet. Jesus! Luca growled. He stood up and pulled down his sleeve to reveal his chronomorpher. Fine, let's do this, Luca muttered. Time Force, Luca called out. As he pressed his morpher with a flash of blue, he had morphed into his Ranger form. I can't be bothered today, the Blue Ranger snapped. Cycloid ran at the Blue Ranger, who jumped up and dodged the claw swing attack. He then pulled out his Vortex Blaster and aimed at a Cycloid. Cycloid jumped at the Blue Ranger and smacked the blaster out of his hands and slashed the Blue Ranger, sparks flying off the Ranger's suit as he dropped to the floor. You're pathetic, Cycloid giggled. The Blue Ranger slammed his fists into the ground and then climbed to his feet. He summoned his Chrome of Sabres and attacked Cycloid. He slashed down on the monster. He swung the sabres at the monster multiple times, who hopped backwards, dodging the attack. Cycloid then punched the Blue Ranger in the chest, then grabbed the blades and pulled them out of the Ranger's hands. He tossed to the one side. Then Cycloid grabbed the Blue Ranger and wrapped his arms around him, like giving him a big hug. His tire in the middle of his chest started rotating at high speeds. The high-speeding tire shredded against the Blue Ranger's suit, sparks flying off of him as he screamed out in agony. Hey, a voice called out. The tire stopped spinning as Cycloid turned to see Dante and Chloe stood across from him. Cycloid dropped the Blue Ranger. Well, gotta run, Cycloid said, then teleported away. Dante ran over to the Blue Ranger as he got to his feet. Powered down, the Blue Ranger called out as he demorphed. Why didn't you call for backup? Dante asked. I don't need any help, Luca snapped. Really? Because it looked like you really had it handled there, Dante snapped. Hey, chill out, Chloe said as she stepped in between the two hot-headed boys. No, Chloe. He's argumentative, he's rude, he upset Amy, he's a dick to Logan. He didn't even take training seriously, Dante growled, stepping around Chloe to get into Luca's face. Yeah, you're no saint. All you do is train and complain about Adam, who's gone, by the way, and CJ spends all her goddamn time trying to find him. Man, why you gotta be so hard for her, huh? Luca yelled. Dante frowned, turning a death glare. Then Dante punched Luca in the stomach, knocking the wind out of him. Luca quickly recovered. He dived at Dante, knocking him to the ground. He stabilized himself, then punched Dante in the face. He went to go punch him again, but Dante caught his fist. Then Dante kicked Luca off of him, throwing Luca onto his back. Both boys climbed to their feet. Right, the pair of you, pack it in, a voice called out. All 3 Rangers turned to see CJ stood there with her arms crossed. Chloe, you take Dante. Luca, you're with me, CJ snapped. Dante and Chloe walked away whilst Luca dragged his feet to CJ. CJ then took Luca to a bench and they both sat down. What? Luca said, as he could feel CJ's eyes burning into his skull. So, what is it? CJ asked. What? Luca grunted. Everyone has that one thing they carry. One secret that could be really small, or absolutely huge. And they carry it, and sometimes that carry can cast a shadow, and it can affect you, CJ told him. Luca just looked at the ground. Calvin Jr., CJ muttered. Come again? Luca asked. When my mother was pregnant with me, they got told by the doctor that I was going to be a boy. So my dad called me Calvin Jr. Or CJ. Then when I was born, turns out I was missing some things, and I was a girl. And Dad thought it'd be great to keep the name, CJ told him. Luca looked at CJ and then burst out laughing. CJ punched him in the arm. Sorry, that's actually pretty cool, Luca grinned. Then he looked at CJ inside. I am part mutant, Luca grunted. CJ raised an eyebrow. My grandfather's rancic, Luca told him. Oh crap, CJ blurted. So that makes you quarter mutant, CJ said. Luca nodded in agreement. Look at me, CJ told him. Luca slowly looked up to CJ. First off, I won't tell anyone, not even the team. Second, just because you're part mutant doesn't mean you're going to turn evil. Rancic was purged his mutant side anyway. And thirdly, just because you have a fear you're going to be a villain or do something bad doesn't mean you have to push everyone away. Look, I get it. Chloe and Dante grew up together. I met Dante a few years ago and I have a great friendship with him. You're an outsider to our group, and that's okay. And it's not fun. And Dante is easygoing. You guys can be the best of friends. You, Amy, and Logan all have something in common. Just think about that, CJ told him. After a few moments of silence, Luca cleared his throat. Thanks, CJ. That actually means a lot. You got a point. Maybe I need to allow myself to be a part of this group, Luca told her. Yeah, see, that's it, CJ cheered. Suddenly, Luca's communicator started beeping as he pressed it. Hey, that demon you're fighting is terrorizing civilians. Guess CJ just head home, we're gonna need your help, Chloe's voice said. I'm on my way, Luca told Chloe. Then he turned to CJ. Hey, I need a favour, Luca said to CJ with a grin.
Hey there, podcast listener. You enjoying what you're listening to? Well then, do I got a special treat for you. Storytime with Cosplay Dude 637. That's me. I'm your host. And I like to tell you stories. Stories that I personally enjoy. So, buckle up, get comfortable, because we're going on a wild ride.
Luca teleported in to see Dante and Chloe already morphed and fighting cycloids. Luca took one step, and then suddenly a whistle came from behind him. He turned around to see Amy rolling in. You just got here, huh? Amy asked. Yeah, Luca nodded. We still a team? Amy told him. Luca nodded again. Then they both revealed their morphers. Time force, Luca called out as he crossed his wrists, then pressed his chronomorpher. Amy held out her hand. Let's rock it, yo, Amy called out. She flipped open the morpher and pressed 2 buttons. 3, 5, the morpher said as she pressed them. In the flash of pink and blue, the Rangers dived into the fight. Cycloid had the Yellow Ranger in his grasp, the center tire spinning at high speed. The Blue Ranger rolled and kicked Cycloid in the legs, making him drop the Yellow Ranger. Then the Black Ranger jumped over the Yellow Ranger and landed in front of Cycloid. He then swung his axe diagonally upward, slashing Cycloid. He staggered backwards, and the Blue Ranger summoned one of the Chrono Sabers and slotted it into the gap of the tire, locking the tire into place. Hey, you runt! What'd you do that for? Cycloid called out. The Black Ranger slashed down on Cycloid, then the Pink Ranger shot Cycloid with the satellite stunner. Then the Blue Ranger and the Yellow Ranger jumped in the air. The Yellow Ranger grabbed the Blue Ranger and started flying up in the air, then let go. The Blue Ranger was falling. He summoned his Vortex Blaster and aimed down at Cycloid. He pulled the trigger multiple times and multiple blasts rained down on the monster. Then the Blue Ranger's Vortex Blaster disappeared. He then summoned his other Chrono Saber and hit the ground. He slashed down, slicing Cycloid. The monster fell and blew up. The 4 Rangers started cheering as Cerberus appeared and whispered into a black bone pistol. For those who have fallen, give those a second chance, he whispered. Then he shot the bolt of energy into the sky, which exploded into a giant cycloid. Then, out of nowhere, Logan appeared and started playing his knife flute. Then the 3 Wild Zords appeared and combined into the Megazord. Logan jumped in and placed the knife flute into the cockpit. The Megazord threw its fist multiple times, hitting the monster, staggering him backwards. Then the Megazord grabbed the hammerhead tail and turned it into sword mode. He slashed down at Cycloid, but Cycloid jumped backwards. He shot lightning at the Megazord, sparks flew off the Megazord as it stumbled. "Damn it," Logan growled. The Megazord then raised its hammer fist and started glowing. All of a sudden, the Megazord jumped towards the monster and hit Cycloid with a glowing hammerhead shark. The monster staggered backwards, fell, and exploded. Then Logan jumped out of the Megazord, and the Megazord attached and became the three separate Zords. The hammerhead was beaten and covered in burn marks. Then the three wild Zords disappeared. "Damn it, shouldn't have done that," Logan grunted. "Did that move hurt the hammerhead wild Zord?" the other ranger asked. "Yes, it will take some time for it to heal," Logan told them. Then he walked away. "Hey Logan," the Blue Ranger called out. Logan stopped walking. The Blue Ranger demorphed. "Thank you. I'm sorry you had to do that," Luca said. Logan just nodded and walked away. The other Rangers demorphed and Amy started walking. "Amy, wait," Luca said. Amy spun around and glared at Luca. "Look, I'm really sorry about the other day. It was wrong of me to lash out at you." "I get it," Luca told her. He then pressed his communicator. "Hey CJ, you got it already?" Luca asked. Then suddenly a small watch teleported into Luca's hand. "Here you go. It's a communicator. You can call in whenever you need help. It also has the dojo's prime location, so you can teleport to us if you need to. And CJ can let you know when we need your help," Luca explained. He passed the watch to Amy. "Thanks," Amy said. She looked at the watch and put it on. She looked at the watch for a few seconds and smiled at Luca. She then turned around and started rolling away. "Hey, good job, man. That was actually pretty sweet," Dante said, holding up his fist. "Thanks. Are we good?" Luca asked as he bumped fists with Dante. "Yeah, man, we're good," Dante smiled. Later that night, Dante, Luca, and Chloe were all sat there eating takeout when suddenly Luca's communicator started beeping. "Hey, Amy, what's up?" Luca asked. "You were right about one thing. Logan is an odd character, and I think I know how we get him to talk to us," Amy's voice said. "Oh yeah? How?" Luca asked curiously. "Meet me at the museum later tonight," Amy told them. In the land without time and space, William removed one black piece from the board, then he placed a pink-based white piece one step closer to the three white pieces, leaving only one space between them. "One more monster. Then it's reset time," William grinned. And there we have it. We have chapter 12. I hope you guys are enjoying Power Rangers Future Foundation. The next chapter is going to be a 3-parter, and it's going to be the mid-season finale for the first season of Power Rangers Future Foundation. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Just want to quickly shout out everybody. So that's Zero to Hero podcast with Billy and Jim, the Balkan Scholar of Podcasting, and they talk about not just only Power Rangers but lots of different fandoms and lots of different stuff, and they are a duo of awesomeness. Go check out Ben the Baker Ranger with movie talks, and he talks about all sorts of movies, old, new, strange, random, all sorts of stuff. Red Cornish Ranger, aka Mark, has Nerds Through Comics, which I am a part of, so go check that out. And then of course we have my new bestie, Cosplay Dude 637, who also has work with Fairy Tail that I'm doing and also has very similar stories to mine, so make sure you go check him out. Thank you all for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time.